Now, this New York's Mayor Eric Adams says Israel has the right to defend itself. Roll tape.
This was intentional. This was bitter. This was nasty. This was something that shows Hamas must be disbanded and destroyed immediately. And we're not going to say we have a stiff upper lip and act like everything is fine. Everything is not fine. Israel has a right to defend himself.
Well, that's Joe Concha. Come on in, please. That was a powerful speech in a thoroughly divided city. What do you say?
Absolutely. I think, Stu, he deserves, Mayor Adams does, the highest of praise for being so passionate, right? For being so steadfast in the defense of Israel. And the best part is he did it without any ambiguity. I love what he had to say here. Quote, in New York, we have the largest Jewish population outside of Israel. This is the place that our voices must be raised and to raise throughout the entire country. So he's saying, look, we have a huge Jewish population. We need to lead the way in condemning this. So bravo, Mr. Mayor. Not much more to say about that.
And many of the Democrats in New York City oppose Israel vigorously and support Hamas. I mean, this is that was a brave statement politically in this city.
Yes, obviously, it's a very, very blue city, right? Eric Adams won with something like 60% of the vote. So, yeah, to do it now in the way that he did, considering that you're right, some politicians like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez very sympathetic towards Palestine and obviously calling for things like de-escalation and ceasefires, to do this now, timely and very much needed in a divided city, Stu.
Joe, we've got this new poll. It's from CNN, actually. 70% of people believe Israel's response to the Hamas attack is fully or partially justified. I got a feeling, Joe, that if there's a mounting civilian casualties in Gaza, that level of support for Israel may slip. What say you?
Perhaps. I mean, already we're seeing high casualties in Gaza, right? And obviously Israel has been bombing ever since this happened. But I think people realize that this was unprovoked, or was completely provoked, I should say, as far as the Hamas attacks on Israel, where you had babies beheaded, where you had people raped, kidnapped, massacred. I have a feeling that people will be more patient with this offensive into Gaza by Israel to root out Hamas because of just how brutally despicable these attacks were. They weren't just bombings. You had babies murdered in front of their parents. I mean, these are things that are unthinkable. It resembles and is, obviously much like the Holocaust. So I think people will be more forgiving of Israel when it comes to the bombings and the casualties in Gaza.
Joe, you've got this op-ed out. I'm quoting, anti-Israel rhetoric finally brings an Ivy League reckoning. I want to hear more about this, Joe. Will they face a real backlash?
It seems like they are already, Stu. I mean, I really like what Bill Ackman had to say. He's a hedge fund billionaire. He's the founder of Pershing Street Capital. And he called on Wall Street CEOs to never hire any student who signed off on that letter at Harvard, 34 groups overall, that put the blame for this conflict solely on Israel after they, as we just talked about, were the ones that were massacred. And many CEOs are signing up for this, as far as saying if they know that somebody signed off on this letter, they're not going to hire him. Here's what Ackman had to say, quote, if you were managing a business, would you hire someone who blamed the despicable violent acts of a terror group on the victims? I don't think so. But let me leave you with this stat, Stu, okay? Of the 190 professors at Harvard, according to a survey done by the campus newspaper, 183 identified as liberal, just 7 as conservative. So when it comes to the most important kind of diversity of all, the diversity of thought, free exchange of ideas, Harvard gets an F- on that front when you have 97% of your professors saying they're liberal.
Well said, Joe Concha. I like that. Well, good stuff. We'll see you again later.